Compared with the HUAWEI Mate 20X. HUAWEI Mate 20X 5G does not have the 3.5mm headset jack. The PCBA support, PCBA and battery capacity are different. Prepare the required tools. Use the eject pin to remove the SIM card tray. Power off the phone. Attach the TP Process Protective Film. Place the phone on the heating platform with the rear cover facing down. Heat the phone at 65 ± 5 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. Fix the phone on the disassembly fixture with the TP facing down. Attach the vacuum cup to the lower part of the rear cover and pull it up to open a gap. Swipe the opening pick along the long edges to cut the adhesive. Loosen the vacuum cup. Loosen the phone and take it out. Swipe the opening pick along the short edges to separate the rear cover. And then turn it over to the right. Attach the rear camera foam. Use plastic tweezers to remove the mylar from the fingerprint sensor FPC ZIF connector. Open the ZIF connector keyboard clip. Remove the FPC. Use plastic tweezers to pry out the frame adhesive at a corner. Use your hand to remove the frame adhesive at an angle smaller than 45 degrees. Use lint-free cloth dipped in alcohol to remove the residual adhesive. Use plastic tweezers to pry out the flash FPC pad. Use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the 18 screws from the PCBA support. Use plastic tweezers to separate the graphite sheet from the subboard support and speaker support. Loosen the snap fits on the PCBA support. Remove the PCBA support. Use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the 3 screws from the subboard support. Use plastic tweezers to loosen the snap fit on the left of the subboard support. Remove the subboard support. Use the B2B connector removal tool to unfasten the battery B2B connector, LCD FPC B2B connector, fingerprint sensor FPC B2B connector, proximity sensor FPC B2B connector, flash FPC B2B connector, front camera B2B connector, main FPC B2B connectors. Remove the front camera. Attach the front camera protective film. Use plastic spudger to remove the 2 coaxial cables. Use plastic spudger to pry out the PCBA at its upper right corner. Tilt the PCBA by 30 degrees to loosen it. Then remove the PCBA. Use the opening card to remove the thermal adhesive from the PCBA and front cover assembly. Use lint-free cloth dipped in alcohol to remove the residual adhesive. Use metal tweezers to remove the rear camera B2B connector steel sheets. Remove the rear camera module. Apply around 250 milligrams of thermal adhesive on 3 specified areas. check that the springs on the PCBA are intact. Fasten the rear camera B2B connectors on the PCBA. Install the 2 rear camera B2B connector steel sheets. Slightly bend the LCD FPC, proximity sensor FPC, and battery FPC. Align the lower left corner of the PCBA with the locating pin on the front cover assembly. Tilt and insert the left side of the PCBA in the front cover assembly and fasten the snap fit. Align the lower right corner of the PCBA with the locating pin. Press the whole PCBA in place. Remove the front camera protective film. Insert the front camera in the slot and fasten its B2B connector. Fasten the proximity sensor subboard FPC B2B connector. Fasten a new short coaxial cable on the PCBA. Fasten a new long coaxial cable on the subboard and PCBA and fit it in the groove. Fasten the flash FPC B2B connector. Main FPC B2B connector. LCD FPC B2B connector. Fingerprint sensor FPC B2B connector. Battery B2B connector. Align the lower left corner of the subboard support with the front cover assembly, and then fasten the snap fit. Tighten 3 screws in the subboard support. Put the flash FPC and fingerprint sensor FPC through the PCBA support. Align the top of the PCBA support with the front cover assembly and fasten the snap fit. Fasten the other 2 snap fits in the lower right corner. Press the PCBA support in place. Attach the graphite sheet to the subboard support and speaker. Use the Phillips screwdriver to tighten 18 screws. Attach a warranty sticker to the specified screw. Align the flash FPC pad with the locating pin on the subboard support. Attach the flash FPC pad to the PCBA support. The PCBA is now properly replaced. Remove the PCBA support and subboard support. Use the B2B connector removal tool to unfasten the battery B2B connector. Main FPC B2B connector. Use the plastic spudger to remove the long coaxial cable. Use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the 3 screws from the speaker. Use plastic tweezers to pry out the speaker and then remove it. Pry out the subboard at the instructed position and then remove it. Align the subboard with the locating pin on the left. Tilt and insert the bottom of the subboard in place. Then press the upper part of the subboard to fasten all snap fits. Press the speaker in place and fasten the snap fits. Use a Phillips screwdriver to tighten 3 screws on the speaker. Fasten the main FPC on the subboard and PCBA in sequence. Fasten the battery B2B connector. Fasten a new long coaxial cable on the subboard and PCBA and fit it in the groove. Install the subboard support and PCBA support. The subboard is now properly replaced. Remove the screws. Remove the PCBA support, subboard support, main FPC, long coaxial cable, PCBA. Place the opening card on the battery for protection before removing the side buttons. Insert a tip of the metal tweezers into the bottom of the side button slots. Pry out the side button bolts. Push the side buttons out of the slots. Use metal tweezers to pry out the side button FPC pad and side button FPC bracket corner. Remove the side button FPC. Remove the release film from the side button FBC. Align the side button FBC with the slot on the middle frame. Press the side button FBC into the bottom of the slot. Attach the side button FBC pad to the slot on the front cover assembly. Insert the side buttons in the slots. Align the two bolts with the side button bracket corners. Use plastic tweezers to press bolts in place. Remove all the screws. Remove the PCBA support, speaker, USB subboard, PCBA. Use metal tweezers to pry out the receiver. Use plastic tweezers to remove the receiver adhesive from the slot. Attach new receiver adhesive to the slot in the front cover assembly. Remove the release film from the receiver adhesive. Use plastic tweezers to install the new receiver. Press the plastic tweezers against the receiver to activate the adhesive. Install the PCBA, USB subboard, speaker, PCBA support. Tighten the screws. Place the rear cover on the heating platform with the external side facing down. Heat the rear cover at 65 plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes. Use plastic tweezers to push out the rear camera lens module. Remove the camera lens module. Use plastic tweezers to remove the adhesive from the decorative part on the rear cover. Use lint-free cloth dipped in alcohol to remove the residual adhesive. Attach the new rear camera lens module to the rear cover and press it in place. Press the rear camera lens module for 20 seconds 3 times to activate the adhesive. Place the rear cover on the heating platform with the external side facing down. Heat the rear cover at 65 plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes. Use plastic tweezers to separate the fingerprint sensor FPC pad from the rear cover. Use plastic tweezers to push out the fingerprint sensor and then remove it. Use plastic tweezers to remove the fingerprint sensor adhesive. Use lint-free cloth dipped in alcohol to remove the residual adhesive. Use plastic tweezers to align the fingerprint sensor adhesive with the fingerprint sensor opening and attach it properly. Remove the release film from the fingerprint sensor adhesive. Put the fingerprint sensor FPC through the opening on the rear cover. Attach the fingerprint sensor properly. Remove the release film from the fingerprint sensor FPC. Align the FPC pad with the silkscreen lines. Attach it to the rear cover. Press the fingerprint sensor for 20 seconds 3 times to activate the adhesive. Remove the release film from the frame adhesive. Align the locating holes on the adhesive with the fixture and fix the adhesive properly. Attach the vacuum cup to the rear cover. Align the rear cover with the locating pins on the upper and right sides. Press the rear cover against the frame adhesive. Align the upper and lower adhesives with the silkscreen lines and attach them properly. Press the adhesives to fix them. Remove the release films from the adhesives on the rear cover. Insert the fingerprint sensor FPC ZIF connector in the keyboard clip on the rear cover. Fasten the ZIF connector keyboard clip. Attach a piece of Mylar to the ZIF connector. Remove the rear camera foam. Align the upper left corner of the rear cover with the front cover assembly. Press the rear cover edges from top to bottom. Place the phone in the press-fitting base mold with the TP facing down. Place the press-fitting base mold in the press-fitting platform. Press the handle to its furthest extent. After the press fitting is complete, take out the phone. Insert the SIM card tray in the phone. Check that the phone can start up properly. This is the end of the video tutorial. Thanks for watching.